and so I hope I say something important. It was Franklin Delano Roosevelt who said, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." It was Martin Luther King who stood on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in front of 250,000 people, and he uttered the famous words, "I have a dream today." Today marks the 95th anniversary of a woman's right to vote in the United States. It's celebrated as Women's Equality Day. Yay! These are all important movements that have happened within our society. And every movement begins with a message. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, what's your message? Often when we think of world-changing messages, we think of things like Martin Luther King, we think of Gandhi, or other people who have made a mark on the world stage. They have rewritten laws, they have changed paradigms, they have righted wrongs, allowed people to experience greater levels of freedom and autonomy. They've changed the course of history itself. And so when I ask you, what is your world-changing message, that might spark a little bit of fear in some of you. Yes?
Yes.
Oh my, I'm not a Gandhi, I'm not a Mother Teresa, I'm not a Rosa Parks, I'm not a king, who am I? More powerful than you've ever imagined. That's who you are. A year ago, this club did not exist. Yes?
Yes.
Someone had a bright idea. Who was it? Who had the idea? Someone, Sabitha, had a bright idea. Hey, I think we could use a Toastmasters club here. A year later, that message bore fruit. And today you celebrate not only your existence, not only your accomplishments. Being a distinguished club is quite an accomplishment. Give yourselves another round of applause. But I want you to think about the impact that you have had on each other. When I talk about world-changing messages, sometimes we think about the world. For the next couple of moments, I want you to think about this world. I want you to think about your world. And I want you to think about how your world is a little different, a little brighter, a little better because of what has happened here at Stagecoach Achievers. How many of you have overcome your fear or anxiety about speaking in public because of Stagecoach Achievers? Yes? You gave that testimony just a few moments ago. And how do you feel now when someone asks you to say a few words?
Ready.
Ready. Ready. Because someone had a message, and that message changed your world. How many of you have been positively impacted by someone standing up here giving a speech at one of these meetings? Yes? You learned something. You developed a different way of looking at something, a new perspective. How many of you actually shifted something in your life to the point where you changed a habit because of something you experienced here? Yes? That's the power of a message. But not just a message, it's a message in action. Einstein said nothing happens until something moves. That's the power of a message. It has the ability to move people, to make people feel, to inspire people to aspire to something higher, to something better. It was President John F. Kennedy who once said, the only reason to give a speech is to change the world. Think about that for a moment. The only reason to give a speech is to change the world. Maybe not the world, but perhaps something in your world, or something in this world, Whenever you step to the lectern at a Toastmasters meeting, whatever comes out of your mouth has the power, the possibility, the potential to shift something in you and to shift something in all those who hear your message. But that's not where it ends, is it? Because when that person gets shifted by what you share, what do they do with the message? They go share it with someone else. How many of you have been inspired by something here and then you went home and you shared it with your family? Yes? Does it end there?
No.
No. Because someone in your family is inspired by what you shared, and then they share it with someone else, another family member, a friend, your children. And then they share that message with their friends and peers. And then they share that message. And like a pebble dropped into a pond, the pond of consciousness, the pond of our existence, you create a ripple effect that is felt through all of the planet. It may not be evident because you don't see the change that your message created in San Francisco, or in San Jose, or in San Diego, or in San Juan Capistrano, or San Juan, Puerto Rico, or wherever else there's a San Juan in the world, or Kuala Lumpur, or Las Vegas, or Washington, D.C. But mark my words, your words have power. Your message has meaning. I want to share with you a few techniques that I've developed over the years to help you identify, craft, and deliver your world-changing message. Would that be of value and interest to you? Feel free to take notes if you'd like. If you are going to open your mouth and say something that has the possibility and potential to shift someone's life, to change the world, be crystal clear about what you want to say. How many of you have done the project in the Competent Communicators Manual about getting to the point? Remember that project? It's not about adding superfluous language. It's not about being flowery. It's about getting to the point. So that is the first of three, what I call TAs, or takeaways. The first takeaway in developing your world-changing message is the takeaway message. Imagine you have the opportunity to stand in front of a giant stadium full of people, 100,000 people. And there are television cameras that are broadcasting your message all across the globe, instantly translating what you say into the language of the people hearing your message in their country. Everyone can understand you clearly. You have 10 seconds to speak your message. What would you say?
Love and respect one another.
Love and respect one another. Message received. What would you say?
Joy Toastmasters.
Spoken like a true Toastmaster. Join Toastmasters. Specifically this club. Wherever you are, they'll take your membership. What would you say?
Same thing.
Same thing, join Toastmasters, of course.
Everything else falls in place.
Yes. Anyone else? What would you say?
Move out of your comfort zone.
Move out of your comfort zone. Whatever keeps you up at night, whatever worries you, whatever you're constantly tweeting or posting on Facebook about, you know that thing you always rant about on Facebook? Whatever that is, whatever you have passion about, that's the thing within you that wants to be spoken. And it's probably the thing within you that other people might need to hear. Don't think you're the only one with that message. There are others that when you say that message, ooh, wow, say that again. I feel the same way. And now you know you're not alone. You have a kindred spirit. You might even have an ally. And now the two of you can go out and share that message and change the world. If you think one pebble dropping in the pond creates a huge ripple effect, what about 2 or 20? What is your takeaway message as you write your next speeches? You will say lots of things. What is the most important thing you want your audience to remember? Start with that. End with that. Second thing, what is your TAA, your takeaway action? As I said earlier, nothing happens until something moves. You want your message to move people? What do you want your message to move people to do? What specific action do you want them to take? Your takeaway action. So love and respect, what would you like people to do?
Yeah, love everyone and respect everyone.
Love and respect everyone. Sometimes the message and the action are the same thing. What would you want them to do?
Join Toastmasters and get inspired and give more speeches and learn how to speak.
Sometimes the message and action are the same thing. Join Toastmasters. That's the message. What should I do? Join Toastmasters and start speaking. Takeaway message, what do I want them to remember? Takeaway action, what do I want them to do? The third thing is the TAB, the takeaway benefit. You share this message not for your own gratification, not for your ego. Someone once asked me, how does it feel to win awards and trophies? How does it feel standing on that stage in front of 2,500 people speaking? What's that like? What's the biggest award you've ever received? And I said, the biggest reward I've ever received is at the end of a speech, someone comes up to me and says, what you said changed my life. Because of what you said in your speech, I went in a different direction, and I'm happier now. That's better to me than any trophy, than any medal or certificate. The only reason to give a speech is to change the world. That's why I do this. People ask me, oh, you didn't win, how did you feel? Fine, because I got to stand in front of 2,500 people and share a message about hope and empowerment. And people were affected by that. I know that because they told me. So I'm happy. I am happy. Mission accomplished. What is the benefit of the message that you share, of the action that you would have them take? How does it help them? How does it move their life forward? How does it help them overcome some challenge? The last is the takeaway why. Why is this message important to you? Why do you want to change the world in this way? How does it make your life better? How does it improve your family, your community, your club, your world? What's the burning desire you have within you to want to see the world shift in this way? Because if you can get in touch with that, the living spirit and energy of your message, it will sustain you when you don't know what to say. In fact, that's one of the ways to get over your fear of speaking. Don't focus on not remembering what you're going to say. Focus on the power of the message and the impact that it has on others. Because if I'm focused on how this helps you, I don't have any room to be nervous about how I look or what I sound like. That's not where my focus is. My focus is out there. And as long as it's out there, there's no fear. There is no fear. What's the why? Viktor Frankl said in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, if you know the why for your life, you can endure almost any how. If you know the why for your message, you can stand in front of a room of 20 or 20,000. The number of people doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters most is the message you want to share and the impact that it has. The message, what do you want them to remember? The action, what do you want them to do? The benefit, how does it make their life better? And the why, what is the compelling, burning reason for you to share this message? Think about your own life. How many of you have had your world changed by one message? Remember the day your sweetheart came to you and said, I love you? Whose world got changed because of that message, right? How many of you remember the day when your sweetheart came to you and said, "Will you marry me?" Whose world got changed by that message? Yes? How about when the biological alarm clock rang? And they said, "Honey, I want to have a baby." Who's had that message change your world? Yes? So don't think of the world-changing message as this thing that tears down a wall separating two countries. Don't think of a world-changing message only as freeing an oppressed group of people. Sometimes that world-changing message is the important and necessary conversation you have with your children, or your spouse, or your beloved, or your coworker, or that friend who seems to have steered off the path. And being the good friend that you are, you decide to have the fierce conversation and share an important world-changing message to help pull them back onto the path. Every movement begins with a message.